Oh, I didn't realize it was off. Let me turn it on. Hold on.
Hare Krishna. For now, I see that
Okay.
I think the others will join in sometime. In the meantime, we can have a conversation. That's fine. So I'll be taking the class today. Your ma'am is a little busy today. Okay. So I'll be taking today's session.
Oh,
And I think your friends will be joining in sometime. Okay. No worries. We will begin the session. Okay. So, like, can you tell me, like, what did you all learn in yesterday's session?
yesterday we learned about Mahabharata.
Okay. All right.
War.
So the what was
And the
yesterday's
last thing,
all
what?
what was yesterday's topic that ma'am taught you?
It's technically about like mostly we learned about the Gurukuls.
Okay.
Um, and we ended off at the War of Mahabharata.
All right. That's nice then. We'll continue. Okay. I'll just be back in a minute. Okay. Just be there. Yeah.
Okay.
This session, we'll take a quick revision, okay, of yesterday's session. Yeah, Eva is also here. So Eva, you can also switch on your video since we're just, few of us now. So it'll be a more interactive class. Okay. You can also unmute yourselves now. It's fine. Since it's just few of us. And Agastya and Shravani, welcome to the session. You can also switch on your video and you can also unmute yourself. Okay. So we will take a quick revision, okay, of yesterday's session, which was taken by a ma'am. Like Ira said, yesterday's topic was Gurukul, right? So can you tell me what is Gurukul? Any one of you can say, can raise your hand first. You can raise, like this itself. That's fine. Yeah. Agastya, what is Gurukul?
Gurukul is like a program where the teacher and student live together.
Yes, that's right. It's a residential schooling system, right? Yeah. You want to add something, Ira?
Yeah, Gurukuls is like a school,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's not like just the boys do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
girls can also do it, and but for the girls we have a Maguru and a boys guru, and instead of like normal schools that we go to is like we just talk about our careers. Gurukuls really just talk about like what you might need, like life essentials like cleaning, cooking, and then there are other things.
Yes, that's right. You were right there. Just a little correction. Yes, there was no partiality between the boys and girls, and the ones like who were taking the guru who would take care of the girls, she's known as Guruma. Okay, and the
Oh,
boys they would be looked after the guru. So that's fine. Okay, guru and Guruma. Okay, and the rest was correct. Yeah, Eva, you can also say your part. What is Gurukul?
it's a traditional
Yes.
school thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so a traditional residential schooling system. Okay, all of you are right there. And then you must have also learned yesterday that two types of training were given, right, in Gurukul. So you can raise up your hand again who knows the answer of the two types of training, and you can also explain a little bit what were the two different kinds of training. Yes, Ira, you can tell me name one of them and explain one of them.
Well, there was a basic Gurukul,
Yes.
and then from that you learned all the necessities you'll need in your normal life, like cleaning clothes, cooking, and all that kind of stuff for
Mm-hmm.
things you'd use later on in life.
Yes, that's correct. And Agastya, you can continue. What was the second time of training that was given?
The second type of training was advanced training.
Mm-hmm.
It was like army and like music and stuff.
Yes, that's correct. So, Two types of training were given. The basic one, like Ira said, wherein all the necessities were taught, right? This was equal for everyone. It doesn't matter if the child was a son of a king or of a farmer, okay? Everyone was given the common teaching. And as per the skill and the interest of the student, the advanced training was given, like Agastya said, okay? Now, next, Eva. Can you tell me that, like in your schools, right, we follow the books, right? We have subjects, we have our particular
Yeah.
books. The same way, what was the instructional manual for the, in the Vedic times, in the Gurukul? What was followed that time? What was the basis of the teachings?
Mm, I think I forgot that part.
Okay, no worries. Who can tell me, like Ira or Agastya? Yes, Ira.
It was a Veda,
Yes, that's correct. It was the Vedas. Okay. So, and who compiled the Vedas?
Lord Vishnu.
No, Lord Vishnu did not compile it. Like it was spoken, okay, by Lord Krishna to
Lord,
Brahma. Yes, and then he further told this to Narad Muniji. But it was compiled by Ved Vyas ji. Okay. So it, and how long ago was this done? If you have to tell me a time duration. This was done around 5,000 years ago. Okay, so Ved Vyas ji, he compiled Bhagavad Gita around 5,000 years ago. Why do we use the term compiled and not written by? Because originally he did not write it, right? It was spoken by God himself, but he compiled it in the written form. And why did he do that? Because he knew that in Kali Yuga, the Yuga that we are currently living in, you were introduced to the four yugs also, right? We had Satyug, we had Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug. Currently, we are living in Kali Yug. So here in Kali Yug, we are not that advanced, or like our capacity to retain just by listening is not that strong as compared to the people who lived in the other yugs. Okay, that is why Ved Vyasji compiled it in the written form, so that for our benefit, so that we have it. Okay. Now, next, can you also tell me that, okay, this Mahabharat, right? That we are talking, we had two epics, right? You must have been introduced yesterday that there were two epics, Ramayana and Mahabharat. So, Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharat. Now, can you tell me what were the three main reasons, why this war of battlefield, of this war of Mahabharat was fought in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Yes, Ira, you can say.
In the movie, I learned from my parents too.
Mm-mm,
Like the Pandavas, dad, I think. No,
mm-mm,
not the dad. Someone, their guru or someone, I forget who,
mm-mm.
had like a lot of land. But then the Kauravas promised him more land, but he
Okay.
never got the land.
Okay, yes. So one of the reasons for the war was the land, definitely. Okay, the kingdom, which was also the right of the Pandavas. Okay, they belonged to the same family, but they weren't given any part of the land. So, because that was one of the reason, there were two more main reasons why the war was fought. Can Eva and Agastya also try? Any, according to you, what was the reason for the war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas? Okay, I'll give a hint. Okay, their wife was also disrespected, right? So, can you name what was the name of the Pandav's wives? Yes, Agastya?
uh, Draupadi.
Yes, that's right. So, she was disrespected, right? She was disrespected. So, also to take a revenge for her disrespect, this war was fought. And lastly, the last reason was that, which is actually the main reason, it was for the re-establishment of dharma. Okay, it was a war for between dharma and adharma, right? You know what's dharma and adharma? Yes, Ira?
I think like one of them, I think Adharm is like the bad one and Dharma is like the good one.
Yes, that's
I am
correct.
not sure if I mixed that up or not.
No, no, that's correct. Dharma is the good one and adharma is the bad one. Okay. So, for the re-establishment of dharma, this war was fought. So, all of you are quite well versed till here. Okay. Now we will be continuing with today's session. Okay. We will be moving forward. I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know if it's visible. My screen is visible, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll be telling a story now, okay? Uh, Before I tell you the story, I'll a little bit introduce you to the army, okay, to the size of the army, okay? So see, now a war is going to be fought. So obviously, two armies will be involved, right? Okay, well, before I start that, uh, do you know how many verses were there total in Bhagavad Gita? Was this discussed yesterday? No, right?
No.
This wasn't discussed. Okay. So see, in Bhagavad Gita, okay, in total there are 700 verses. Okay, this you need to remember. It will be mentioned in your notes also. In total, there are 700 verses, of which Dhritarashtra. You know who is Dhritarashtra? King Dhritarashtra. He was the father of the Kauravas. Okay, the king, the current king of Hastinapur. Okay, he was Dhritarashtra. We have Kauravas and Pandavas, right? Two parties involved here. So the father of the Kauravas was Dhritarashtra, and the father of Pandavas was Pandu. Pandu wasn't alive at that time. That is why Dhritarashtra was made the king. Okay,
I
so he.
I thought that Dhritarashtra was the Pandavas' dad, and the Pandavas' dad was the Kaurav's dad.
Okay. See, Dhritarashtra was Kaurav's dad. Okay. He was Kaurav's father. And Pandav's father, who was Pandu, he wasn't alive at that time. Okay.
Oh,
And one of the verse of the 700 verses, which is the first verse, which we will also be learning today, that was told by Dhritarashtra. Okay. King Dhritarashtra. You just need to remember these four names because they were involved. Okay. Now, Sanjaya. Who is Sanjaya? He was the secretary of Dhritarashtra. Okay. He was the secretary and he told around 41 verses. You know what are verses? They are the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. We will also be learning few shlokas today. It'll be interesting. Okay. So he told 41 of the verses. The 84 verses was told by Arjun, and the remaining, which is 574, this was spoken by Lord Krishna himself. So we say that Bhagavad Gita is basically a conversation, okay? Between whom? Between Arjun and Lord Krishna. And Dhritarashtra, he told the first verse, and Sanjay, he was given the Divya Drishti, okay? He was given a kind of vision wherein he could actually see the battlefield of Kurukshetra without being present there. Okay, and how did he get this vision? Okay, this was given to him by Vedvyas ji again. All right, because Dhritarashtra, King Dhritarashtra wanted to see what is happening in the battlefield. And he was blind. Okay, King Dhritarashtra was blind, so he wanted to witness the war. So Vedvyas ji offered him that should I give you vision to see the war? But he said no, I will not be able to see my own sons die, my own family members die. So instead, this vision was given to Sanjay, his secretary. Okay, so we had another, witness to the war who was Sanjay. And Sanjay would narrate everything to King Dhritarashtra. Whatever was happening in the war, he would be narrating to him. Okay. So, how many verses were there in total? 700. Okay. One was spoken by King Dhritarashtra, 41 by Sanjay, 84 by Arjun, and 574 by Lord Krishna. Okay. Now, we will also be seeing the size of the armies. Okay. The army of the Kaurav army, okay, that is, it had 11 Akshohini. I will explain you what's the meaning of Akshohini. And the size of the Pandav army was 7 Akshohini. So who had a bigger army?
Kaurav.
Yes, the Kauravs had a big army, okay? Now, this is how we understand what's the meaning of Akshuhini. Now, see, just like when you measure any liquid items, be it milk or anything, we measure it in the form of liters, right? Now, if you have to measure distance, how do we measure that? In the form of kilometers, meters. So, this is the measurement for army, okay? And how much is one Akshuhini equal to? It's equivalent to 21,870 chariots, okay? 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses, and 1,09,350 infantry. What is infantry? That refers to soldiers. All right, you knew that already, Ira? So it refers to the soldiers, all right?
I thought infants meant like little child.
No, that are infants. Your infantry means soldiers, okay? Soldiers who would be
Oh,
on foot, like they wouldn't be on horses or anything. So that's infantry, all right? So when you sum up all of these, that's equivalent to one Akshohini. And how much are we talking about here? We're talking about 11 Akshohini, 7 Akshohini. So you can imagine how big the armies were there, like how many people were involved in the war, right? It was such a big war. That is why it's known as Mahabharat. Okay. So this was, this brief idea you have now about the war, and also this that now I'll be telling you the story, okay? Since you have a little bit background about Mahabharat. Now, in this story that I'll be telling you now, three characters are involved mainly, okay? This is Duryodhan. Who was Duryodhan? Can anyone tell me? Someone else now, apart from Ira, Agastya, and Eva. Do you want to try? Who was Duryodhan? It's fine if it's wrong. If you want to try, you can try.
Was Duryodhan on the Pandava side?
No, no. Duryodhan was not on the Pandava side. He was on the Kaurav side. He was, in fact, the eldest among the Kauravas. Okay? It's completely fine, Eva, even if you're getting it
Maybe it
wrong.
was one of the. I forgot, but I
Yeah.
knew he was the eldest of something.
Yes, he was the eldest. He was the eldest among the Kauravas. Okay? The Kauravas were 100 brothers. So Duryodhan was the eldest amongst them. He was the eldest child of King Dhritarashtra. And then we know who's Lord Krishna. Okay? He needs no introduction. And Arjun. So these three characters we have in the story. Now, in this picture, like you can see, okay, what happened? The story goes this way, that this was just before the war, okay? Now, the war was to happen, this was decided. So, both the parties, that is the Kauravas and the Pandavas, they wanted help from Lord Krishna, assistance from him. They wanted his help, also some kind of contribution, that whom will he help? So, both of them, they went, okay, to his palace to approach him for help. And at that time, when they went, Lord Krishna was actually sleeping. Okay. So Duryodhan reached there first. And what did he do? He waited, both of them waited for him. Duryodhan sat beside Lord Krishna's head. Okay. Suppose, like, if I'm sleeping this way, so yeah, he was just waiting there. There was a chair out there, he was sitting there. And Arjun, like you can see in the picture, he was just in front of Lord Krishna, waiting near his foot. Okay. While where his feet was. So it's very natural, right? Now, if you are sleeping and you wake up, then automatically when you open your eyes, the first thing that you will notice is someone who's in front of you, not someone who's beside you, right? So similarly, when Lord Krishna opened his eyes, he saw Arjun. Okay, and then Duryodhan said, "Oh, even I am here." Who said, "Okay, so Duryodhan, even you are here. So both of you, like, what's your reason for coming here?" So they said that we need your help in the war, as you know, the war is going to happen. Now, Lord Krishna said, okay, since I saw Arjun first, I will give Arjun the first chance to ask me something. Okay, then you can ask. Duryodhan was not happy with this. He said that I came here first, so I should get the first chance to ask. He said, okay, you must have come first, but I saw Arjun first, and also he is the younger one here, right? Arjun was younger to Duryodhan, so he should be given the first chance to ask me something. Okay, then Arjun, okay, he told Lord Krishna that in this war, okay, I want you by my side, okay, just you. I do not want your army or your weapons or anything, but just you, your guidance by my side, okay? And Duryodhan, he was internally happy that Arjun just asked for this much. Because what was Duryodhan planning? He was planning to, in fact, ask Krishna for his Narayani Sena, okay, his army. And he was happy that despite the fact that Arjun got the first chance to ask something, he did not utilize it wisely. He, in fact, just asked for Krishna. He was thinking that internally, okay? But in fact, Arjun did, who was the wiser one here? It was, in fact, Arjun, because we know that on whosever side Lord Krishna is, be it with weapons or without weapons, that side will obviously win, right? Because he is God himself. But Duryodhan, he wasn't wise at that time enough. Okay, he did not understand this, so he asked Lord Krishna for his army. Okay, so the army which we just discussed, just now, the uh, size of the armies. So before Duryodhan asked for the army, they had in total of 9 Akshohini senas, okay, and with the addition of Krishna's sena, there was a total of 11. So they were already bigger in number earlier also, and they became even more bigger, okay, in size of the army. So this was a little story, okay, which you should have known, like you should know, which you know now. All right. Yeah. Ira, you want to say something?
I thought Duryodhan got a weapon, like a Narayan weapon instead of an army.
No, he got the Narayani Sena, the entire Sena, okay, from Krishna. Like Krishna's Sena, his army was on the side of Kauravas, but Krishna himself was on the side of Arjun, of Pandavas, okay? So, here also, we can understand that what, for Kauravas, for Duryodhan, what was more important here? The army and, the materialistic things were more important. But for Pandavas, that is for Arjun, they only needed the sight and the guidance of Lord Krishna. Okay. So the story is clear to everyone. It's a very simple story from Mahabharata itself. Okay. Did you know about the story before? Or if you heard
I
it for the
think I
first
read
time?
it in one of my books.
Okay, all right. Even me, I had the story when I was in, I think, class 3 or class 4. It was there in one of my um, English. It was a chapter in our English
I'm
subject.
actually in my other, it's like a kind of Hindi class thing. I'm doing a play about this.
Okay, that's nice. So you'll also be participating in the play?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So which character will you be playing?
Someone named Pradyumna.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now it's shloka time. Okay, what we will be doing, like I told you earlier, we will be learning few shloks today. Okay, shloks meaning verses, and from where? From Bhagavad Gita itself. All right. So all of you, you can unmute yourselves since you're just three. Yeah, you can unmute yourselves, and I will be reading the shloks. Okay, I'll be reading one line at a time. You can read, repeat after me. Okay. And even if it's wrong, the pronunciation or anything, you don't have to worry. If it's your first time reading Sanskrit, that's completely fine. Okay. So Agastya, you can also unmute yourself and we will be learning shlokas now. So repeat after me, okay? Dhritarashtra Vacha
Raja Vacha
Dharmashetre Kurukshetre
Dharma Tirsheti Kurukshetri
Samyevata Yuyutsavaha
Mama Yutsavaha
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka
Mama
Devastai
Pandavaseva
Kim akurvata Sanjaya
Kimakur Vata Sanjaya
Akartaveta Sanjaya
Dhritarashtra Vacha
Dhritarashtra Vacha
Dharmashetre Kurukshetre
Dharmakshestre
Dharmakshestre
Kurukshetre
Samyuta Yuyutsavaha
Samveta
Samveda
Yutsavaha
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka
Mamaka Pandavaseva
Kim akurvata Sanjaya.
Kim Aturvata Sanjaya.
Akartaveta Sanjaya.
Very nice. Okay, so we'll see the translation of this shlok now. Dhritarashtra Vacha, meaning Dhritarashtra said, okay, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So, see, in this picture also, you can see that King Dhritarashtra is sitting, okay, and this is Sanjay, okay. King Dhritarashtra is blind, like I had told you, and Sanjay was given the vision. You can see this in this cloud form of thing. There he can actually see the battlefield, and it's not like he had to be present at the battlefield. He could see it from the palace itself where they were sitting. Yes, Hira?
Um, from the movie and from the books I read, it
Hmm.
said Dhritarashtra was the father of the Pandavas.
No. Dhritarashtra was not the
And then
father.
Pandu was like their guru on both sides. And then Pandu was the guru on both sides. They were but
The
Pandu was mainly on the Kaurav side.
okay.
No, the Pandava
Uh,
side.
See, the name of the guru, okay, of Kauravas and Pandavas was Dronacharya. Okay, Pandu was Pandav's father. Okay, Dronacharya was
Now
their
I
guru.
remember.
Okay, and
Oh, now
Dhritarashtra.
I remember.
Yes, okay, and Dhritarashtra was Kaurav's father. Okay, your confusions are clear now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, like you can see in this picture, okay, where Sanjay could see, he had this vision wherein he could see the battlefield right from the palace itself, okay, and Dhritarashtra is asking him, okay, he's basically inquiring from Sanjay that what is exactly the scene at the battlefield right now, okay, please tell me that what is the scenario at the battlefield. My sons and the sons of Pandu are assembled in the place at the pilgrimage of Kurukshetra. Okay, why is it known as pilgrimage here? Because it was, Kurukshetra is considered a very holy land. Okay, that is why it's known as pilgrimage. Desiring to fight, what did they do? So it's basically inquiring, okay, from Sanjay that what is the current scenario in the battlefield. Okay, and from this line also here, he's addressing Kauravas as my sons and sons of Pandu as sons of Pandu. Like, here also we can see that right at that very moment in his mind, he had this differentiation that my sons are my sons and Pandavas are not my sons. He could have considered them as his sons also, right? Then this war would have never happened in the first place. But because there was this differentiation between between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, this war was happening. Okay, so the first verse is clear. Okay, you have to learn this verse. That is why we recited it. Okay, by if you will just repeat it, 4 or 5 times also, you will be able to memorize it, and you'll also be shared the audios wherein, or you will share the recordings also wherein you will, be able to get the pronunciations of the verse. Okay, now we'll move on to the next verse. Yes, this also in the same way. I will be reading the first line. Be reading each line, and then you will repeat after me. Okay. Panchajanyam hirikesho
Panchajanyam Harikeso
Keso Jatam Kesho
devadattam dhananjayah
Devanda
Devadattam Dhananjaho
Dhananjaya
पौंड्रं धत्मो महाशङ्खम्
Pandram
Panduram Mahasankam
Mahasankam
भीमकर्म विकोदरः
Bhima
Bhimakar
Karma
Karma
Vakudaraha
पाञ्चजन्यं हिरिकेशो
Panchajanyam Hirikeso
देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः
Devadatam
Devadattam Dhananjaho
Dhananjaya
पौंड्रं धत्मो महाशङ्खम्
Pandratrattam Mahasankram
भीमकर्म विकोदरः
Bhima Karma
Bhimakar
Vikodaraha.
Okay, very nice. So, the translation of 1.15 is Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his Devadatta, and Bhima, the ferocious eater and the performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra. So, we have new characters now. Okay, we already know who is Lord Krishna. Okay, he blew his conch shell. In this verse, basically we will be learning the names of the conch shells. You know what is a conch shell? What is a conch shell?
It's kind of like a shell where you can like hear the waves, and sometimes like back then, you could hear like if you sat near like a king who could give you visions, or like by God, like at the foot of God, then you would hear like, hey, I am Ira's mom. Ira is about to stop. Her math class is about to start.
Okay, now.
Yeah, 7:30.
Okay. Okay, then, like, if it's like the same timing, she can do that, and she can, see the recording of the remaining part that's left.
If there's any other time, you can let me know on spot, please.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
If there's any other time, like Monday's fine.
Okay, any other timing for the classes?
Yeah.
Yes, that I think the facilitator ma'am, she will be the right person to answer to this. You can message her on WhatsApp. She will let you know about this. If there's a different timing, I cannot hear you, ma'am.
this. Okay, thank you so much.
I didn't get that.
I'm saying Ira is leaving the class now.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, yes, conch shell. Okay, so like Ira was explaining, so conch shell is basically it's a white, it's white in color and it's played before the war. Okay, there's a sound which marks the beginning of a war. Okay, so that's a conch shell. So Lord Krishna, what was the name of his conch shell? It was Panchajanya. Okay, and Arjuna, his conch shell, the name of his conch shell was Devadatta. Okay, and Bhima's conch shell, it was known, Bhima, his conch shell's name was Pondra. And he is described as a ferocious eater here. Now, before I tell you what's the meaning of a ferocious eater, you know who was Bhima? Bhima? Do you know? Okay, Agastya, who was Bhima?
Bhima is like he's like he's he's like on the Pandava side.
Yes, he is on the Pandava side. He is in fact one of the Pandavas. Okay, Pandavas were five brothers, right? So the eldest one was Yudhishthir. Okay, the second one, who was his name was Bhim. Okay, Bhima we can say. Then there was Arjun. Okay, then we have Sahadev and Nakul. Okay, so the second brother, the second among the Pandavas, Bhima, and he was quite big built. Okay, that is why it's he's being described here as the ferocious eater and the performer of Herculean task. And the name of his conch shell was Pondra. So in this particular verse, in 1.15, we've learned the names of three conch shells. Okay, Lord Krishna's conch shell's name was was Panchajanya. Arjuna's conch shell name was Devadatta, and Bhima's conch shell name was Pondra. Okay, now we will move on to the next one. Yes, here we'll be further learning the name of the remaining conch shells. Okay, so you can again recite this shlok after me. You can unmute yourselves, Eva and Agastya. Ananta Vijayam Raja
Ananta Vijaya Raja
Kunti Putra Yudhishthira
Kunti Putra Yudhishthira
Yudhishthira
Nakula Sahadevascha
Nakula Sahadevascha
Sughosha Manipushpaka
Sughoscha Manipushpako
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Kunti Putra Yudhishthira
Kunti Putra Yudhishthira
Nakula Sahadevascha
Nakula Sahadevascha
Sughosha Manipushpaka.
Sughosha Manipushpako.
Okay. So King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti. Okay. Who is Kunti? Kunti was the mother of the Pandavas. Okay. Blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadev blew the Shughosha and Mani Pushpaka. So the names of the remaining conch shells, King Yudhishthir. Okay. The name of his conch shell was Ananta Vijaya. Nakul. One second. Nakul's conch shell name was Sughosha and Sahadev's conch shell name was Mani Pushpaka. So today you've learned the names of 6 conch shells, okay? 1 of Lord Krishna and 5 of the 5 Pandavas, okay? First you need to know what are the names of the 5 Pandavas. So the eldest one was King Yudhishthir, okay? He was the eldest. Then was Bhima. Then we have Arjun, okay? Then Nakul Sahadev, okay? It's simple to remember the names. You've heard of these names before, or it's the first time that you're hearing the names of the 5 Pandavas? You've heard it before? Yes, no?
Yeah.
You've heard. Okay. Okay. But the names of the conch shells, that you must have heard for the first time, right? So that will take a little bit time to remember the names, to pronounce the names, but you will learn it. Okay? So, yes. Now you just had to learn this verse that is 1.21. You don't have to learn this verse. I'll just be reading the translation. I'll explain that to you. But the 3 verses that we have discussed now, that you will have to learn. Okay? Now, in 1.21, what is Arjun telling Lord Krishna? He's saying, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So, what's happening here? While the war was just about to begin, Arjun was a little confused now. He was not feeling good, okay? He was feeling, he had different kinds of feeling. We will be seeing that, what he was exactly feeling in that moment. So, what did he tell Lord Krishna? That please take me in the middle of the battlefield. From there, I want to see that who am I actually fighting, okay? Because at that moment, many thoughts were rushing in Arjun's mind, okay? He was not prepared for the war, okay? You can say, in a way, he was feeling nervous, he was feeling confused. Many thoughts were there. So he's telling, and oh, infallible one, meaning, whom is he referring to as infallible one here? To Lord Krishna. The meaning of infallible is someone who never fails. Okay. So he's telling him, please draw my chariot. Okay. And why is he telling Lord Krishna? Because Lord Krishna himself was actually, drawing his chariot. He was his charioteer at that time. Like, he is God, but he is, he's not, like, he also agreed to become to become Arjun's charioteer at that time. Okay. Because he'll be guiding his way through the entire war. So he told him, please draw my chariot in the middle of the two armies, so that what will he do? I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend, okay, with whom I will be fighting in this great war, okay. And why did he tell this? Now, the reason, see this in these pictures now, you can see this is Lord Krishna, that is Arjun. He was in fact riding the chariot of Arjun, okay. And then this was the army, like so many people were involved. We saw, right, the size of the armies also. Now, what was the reason why Arjun told Lord Krishna that please take my chariot in the middle of the battlefield? These were the reasons, okay? These were actually the state, Arjun's state at that time, his state of mind, okay? What he was going through. His symptoms were as such. The limbs of my body are quivering. He was telling this to Lord Krishna, okay? He was opening up that this is what I'm feeling right now. My mouth is drying up, okay? When you will go through these symptoms, it's not something that which is very out of the world. Even we feel like this, right, at times, and not at normal times. When do we feel this? When we are nervous, when we are stressed about something, right? My whole body is trembling. My hairs are standing on the end. My Gandiv bow is slipping from my hand. Okay, what is Gandiv? It was the name of his bow. Okay, the bow which Arjun used. It was a special, it was not a very normal one. Okay, so the name of that bow was Gandiv. Okay, my skin is burning. I am unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself. My mind is reeling. Okay, reeling meaning many thoughts are, rushing like at one go. I see only causes of misfortune. So Arjun told Lord Krishna that I'm feeling all these things right now. I'm not prepared for the war. Okay. And what were the reasons? Okay. Now, if he was feeling this way, there might be a reason, right? Why he was feeling this way. So these 5 reasons basically. First was compassion. Okay. Arjun had compassion for his family members. He knew that even if I'm fighting a war, deep down, I'm fighting my own family members only, right? Kauravas are his cousin brothers, okay? And then Bhishma was on that side. It was his great grandfather. His own Guru Dronacharya was on the other side. So he was feeling compassion for them. That because of me, so many people like, and in a war, okay, and he was also feeling compassion for the soldiers who were there. So in a war, obviously there will be death and destruction, right? So one reason was compassion. The second was no enjoyment. Okay. Arjun was not feeling that kind of excitement that, oh, I have to go fight a war. He was in fact feeling distressed at that time. Okay. Then the third reason was sinful reactions. Okay. He also had this fear that, if I fight this war, then there will be a reaction. I will be punished for this. Okay. Because through my hands, so many people will be killed. I will be punished. So he also had this fear of sinful reactions. Then destruction of family. Like I told you, he had this compassion for his family members. So he was also afraid that he'll be the reason for the destruction of his own family members. Okay. And Lastly, the reason is indecision. Indecision, why? Because there was no clarity at that time, right? He was confused that should I fight this war or should I not fight this war? So he was not being able to come to one particular decision. So because of these reasons, Arjun was feeling the symptoms which we just discussed above. Okay. So now you have a brief idea of what is exactly happening. We are right now we're on that page wherein the war is about to start. Okay. So this was like today's session basically. Okay. So any doubts from today's session? Do you want me to take a quick recap? Okay. We did not discuss much today, nothing tough or anything. Okay, we just I started the class with a little story. Remember the story? Okay, wherein Krishna, okay, he was on Arjun's side and his army was on Duryodhan's side. Okay, then we discussed today. You've learned 3 shloks. Okay, the first shlok was of King Dhritarashtra when he was inquiring from Sanjay regarding the what was the status in the war. Okay, in the battlefield. Then we learned about the names of the conch shells. Okay, these names you will be getting in your notes. Okay, so you will be remembering the name of the notes of the conch shells. Okay, and then also this particular slide that we had discussed, yes, this is also clear that in total there are how many verses in Bhagavad Gita, who spoke how many, the characters involved, then the size of the Akshani Senas. Okay, so you can ask me, if you have any doubts, you can also unmute yourself, or you want to share anything, you can also share that. Or you can, tell me that what is it, something that you learned today which you did not know before. Yes, Agastya?
I think like Agnidev gave Arjuna his bow.
Yes, Arjun's bow was given to him by Agnidev. That's correct. Which was known as Gandiv. Anything else? You can ask. We have time. We have completed before time. So, yes, Eva?
I didn't know the when it happened. I thought it was 2000 years ago.
Oh, so now you know, okay, whenever you'll be asked either in your test or if someone asks you, can say approximately 5,000 years ago. It's the same time when this, it was compiled by Ved Vyasji, that was also approximately 5,000 years ago. So it's in that way you can remember, okay? Also, anything else, any doubts? So you learned something new today, right? A lot of new things. In fact, you learned the names of the 6 conch shells, in fact, about the story about the Senas. So yeah, that was it like for today's session. Okay, now I think you will be having a little announcement also. You have a homework today. So that Shruti ma'am, she'll guide you. So ma'am, you can tell them.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, for your homework, we have learned like 6 names of the conch shells. So, you have to make the conch shells, and you don't have, like, you have to try to learn one for other shlokas that we have covered today. So, that will be sent on the group. So, please watch out for the homeworks that will be given.
Like you'll be shared a video how to make these conch shells. So you'll be making them and then you can share it with Shruti ma'am. Okay? You're excited to make it or you feel like, oh, it's a homework, I have to make it. It'll be fun, it's a kind of activity, and while making it all, you also automatically learn the names of the conch shell. Okay? So it'll be shared. And if you have any doubts, okay, from today's session, you can still ask that. It will not be a problem. You want to ask something, Eva? Any doubt about the homework?
No.
Okay. So you will be having your upcoming sessions also. You'll be updated about that. This was it for today's session. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you so much for joining.